Who cares if I'm pretty if I fail my finals?
Oh, okay, you've got this so completely backwards.
But first, I'm gonna just put all my finals onto my master to-do list. You have to set realistic goals, bruh. I am going through it right now. And I have like 4 problem sets to go through, practice exams to go through for this one, and then also to start studying for my next final after that one. I just wanted to go over a couple of my exam essentials. Hello everybody, today marks the start of my finals season. I really need to lock in, guys, because I've been really behind in a lot of my subjects. It's been kind of bad, but I need to like really just grind, I think, for my first few finals. I will be doing how I normally do all of my final season, okay, why is it still blurry? Final season videos where I go through my grade calculations, make sure that, you know, there's a chance of me passing, and I'm just gonna grind like crazy. I just have a couple of emails I have to send, and then I will start planning out my schedule for the final season, which I think is a really good way. I don't know if I did that last semester, but I really want to do it this semester just because I have finals lasting from basically the start to the end, and I just really want to make sure that I'm going to be staying on top of things and at least prioritizing the finals that I know I have to do better in compared to others. And yeah, you guys can just follow along with me. Maybe you guys are also studying for finals, who knows, but we're in this together. We can do it. I believe in us. Yes. Now I'm gonna organize my entire schedule for finals. I am feeling very nervous, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. This is like the worst part, is actually starting. We're gonna start organizing. I think it makes it a lot less overwhelming when you go in, because like anytime during exam season can be so overwhelming. So I obviously use Notion. You guys probably know I love Notion, and I have so many videos up about how I use Notion, my template, all of that, so you guys can go check those out. Number one thing I do is I use my master to-do list to basically set the big picture like deadlines, and then I use my weekly schedule for like internal deadlines. But I also have a page for my finals study schedule, and so this is going to be like how I organize every single day preparing for my final. But first, I'm gonna just put all my finals onto my master to-do list. I also have it on my Google Calendar. I'm not going to school today because it's raining and all of my classes are basically done, so I just didn't want to go to school because it's raining. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow, don't worry, because we do have an end of year barbecue, so I'm going for the food. Obviously. I have 2 finals. Start of finals is Monday. My first final is on Tuesday, April 16. And then I have another 2 finals the week after on Tuesday and Thursday again in the morning. This one on Tuesday and this one on Thursday. So I'm just gonna write that into my Notion. Oh, and normally I also write the time that it's happening at, just so that I don't freak out. So now that I've organized it all into the like list here, basically, I am gonna start working out what I'm gonna be doing every day. This is also stressful for me because you have to set realistic goals for every day, because there's no way you can go through like 10 chapters in a day. Like, that's basically impossible, guys. So for today, I'm gonna be studying for my number 1 final, the first one, the one I'm most worried about. But luckily I can get it over with quicker. But like, yeah, I'm worried about it a lot. So I need to set like how I'm gonna study for it. So I'm gonna just first catch up on missed lectures, because I've actually missed quite a few of these. These are my 9 a.m. lectures, so I don't like going. Second, I'm going to I'm gonna look at like the types of questions that they've posted. Because I just want to, like, I think the failure that I had for the midterm, because I failed this midterm, was because I didn't practice the type of questions enough. But the problem was that every year prior to this, they've done a different type of language. So there were no correct answers when I was practicing, which I think was just like the issue, because I could practice as much as I wanted and write it in the language that we're learning this year, but there's nothing for me to compare it to see if I even did it right. And then I also want to catch up on the next midterm notes. So I'll do around 10 slides of notes. I don't want to like freak myself out more, so I'm just gonna start. Put on some good music, start grinding. We got this. Welcome back everybody, and we are getting into a final season study vlog, and I really want to bring like a lot more sort of tips and tricks that are sort of new compared to my previous ones. I sent out like a little questions thing on my Instagram a while ago, and a bunch of people asked me, how do you start studying? Because that is often the hardest part. And honestly, I totally agree. Like, it's the hardest struggle for me to literally just sit down and start studying. So I'm gonna try and give you guys the motivation right now. So if you're at home watching this video, I want you to get up from wherever you are, walk to your desk or your study area, put on some good music if you like listening to music when you study, and lock in and grind. I promise you will just feel so much better once you get over the initial mental hurdle of starting and just start. Like, it's oftentimes because I get too into my head about it and I'm like, oh my god, there's so much that I have to go over, whatever. But no, if I turn that part of my brain off, start listening to some music, something like that, and just start with something a lot simpler, often it's taking notes or just revising notes, it's a lot easier for me to start. And as many people know, and as you can also see in this clip here, I really like taking digital notes. But I usually take digital notes in lecture, and this is just because it's really convenient for me to just carry around one thing during the day, and it's literally just my iPad. I don't have to use a bunch of other notebooks and carry a bunch of them around. And one of my favorite digital note-taking apps is Nebo, which is the sponsor of this portion of the video. Nebo is a note-taking app specifically designed to be versatile and dynamic for students. It has key features such as handwriting recognition, easy math and diagram integration, and a dynamic and expandable canvas, which just encompasses like every essential note-taking feature, I would say, in a very easy to use platform. Personally, I really like the handwriting recognition tool because it's really helpful for organizing all of my notes into a text document, so I can take notes during lecture and then convert it into text later on using their handwriting tool. Organizing all of my thoughts onto a single document has just made taking notes in class so much more fun, engaging, and productive. I recommend downloading Nebo today and just make note-taking as a student so much more streamlined and just so much more simple. You can download it using the link in my description box, and thank you again to them for sponsoring this portion of the video. Guys, I've been studying since like 11 a.m. this morning. It's 9:30 and I'm still studying, and like, yeah, this is my toothless support plushie. Bruh, I am going through it right now. This is so much. I'm literally like, I'm trying to get more locked in because I feel like I got really distracted throughout the day. Basically, I have 2 finals coming up next week. The first one is the one I studied for the most, like most of today, but I need to like catch up for my other course because I'm 100 slides behind. So I'm just taking those notes right now. Honestly, the first 3 midterm or finals that I have are my hardest, and I'm the most behind. And yeah, it's difficult basically right now. We need to lock in. One thing that I've really been trying to work on this semester is getting out of a very negative mindset when it comes to studying and being productive. This is mostly just beating myself up for not being as productive, especially when I don't start as early as I could have. I think overall it's just very unmotivating and sort of toxic productivity behavior. I want to change my mindset going forward and just be grateful that I am making an effort, even just in the moment. A lot of the time this sort of mindset happens when I'm just taking a break or just, you know, doing something that's not studying. And so along with this productivity culture that we sort of have in society, I want to like really emphasize that it's okay to take breaks and give your brain a rest and do other activities besides just grinding like 24/7. Okay, I just want to say another thing because I wanted to get this on like film or whatever. I want to make the decision and delete Instagram. I'm gonna delete it off all my devices, including my iPad. I'm not gonna sign out, I'm just gonna delete it, like the app, so I'm not tempted to go on it, because half the time whenever I want to start brain rotting, I just scroll on Reels and it's so bad, or I just scroll on the Explore page and it's really bad because I just want to do it to like, I don't know, just do something else basically and like waste my time. But I want to not do that, and actually I'm gonna try and make myself read instead, because I actually have 2 books from the library. I'm gonna use that as a break instead, because then it's still kind of productive for my brain and it's still kind of like using a different part of my brain as a break. But yeah, I'm just saying that now, because if you find that like a certain app is really distracting, or it's kind of like muscle memory for you to just like use it as like a brain rot app, I recommend like self-discipline and get rid of it, at least for the period of time when you need to really like lock in and study. Good morning, everybody. Well, good morning to me, I guess. I woke up at around 9:30 today, and I forced myself to get out of bed because I was like, I already set an alarm for 9:30, so I might as well get out. And I have my first final in the afternoon at 2 p.m. and I'm honestly really nervous. I don't know like what to expect. I don't even know where this place is, because it's in like not the exam center, it's in like a random place. I don't even know. That is the update. My next exam is this Friday, and I actually am still super behind. I'm about 70 slides behind, I think, and I've been trying to like do around 10 slides a night on top of studying for the like today's final. So, but the thing is, I still haven't caught up, and it's really hard to do 2 things at once. So as soon as I'm done my final today, I'm gonna like come back and start studying for my next one. And I have like 4 problem sets to go through, practice exams to go through for this one, and then also to start studying for my next final after that one, which I'm also really behind in. So it's very overwhelming, but I really just want to like keep my mind focused on it and just get through it. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say for now. I'm gonna go upstairs, study, head out to my exam, and then come back and study more. Well, this is my outfit for the exam. It's like such a nice day out today, so I wanted to wear like something kind of fun and flowy. I just wanted to go over a couple of my exam essentials. So number 1 is always you need a pencil, pen, extra pencils, an eraser. I've actually had people ask to borrow things from me during an exam. I'm like, shouldn't you be more prepared? But anyway, yeah, I always carry multiple pencils. I use mechanical pencils. This is the one I always use, but I recommend that you always have extra lead. So I actually just put 2 more pieces in here. If you use a wooden pencil, make sure you bring like a sharpener, I would say. That's like, or just have multiple sharpened wooden pencils. But yeah, I just bring my whole pencil case. Normally I also bring my calculator. My school has a specific like exam allowed calculator. Just always make sure you check that. Next, I usually like to bring a bunch of papers, even though I don't actually revise right before the exam. I don't know, I just like having it in my bag because then it like makes me feel kind of better. I always bring my headphones or some form of like noise canceling, because as soon as the exam is over, I want to like put those on and leave. I don't want to hear any person mutter a single word about what just happened and what was on the exam, because it'll stress me out. You have to really know your own body temperature, okay guys, because you don't know what type of environment you're going to be taking the exam in. And so I always am on like the colder side, so I always wear a sweater, or I bring a sweater. But I also usually bring one that can unzip, because if it gets too hot, I also don't like it if it's too hot. So I can unzip it and then be in the middle. Or if it's really hot, I can unzip it, take it off, and then have something underneath. So always make sure you're wearing like a sweater with at least something underneath in case it gets too hot. And then on top of that, just know where your exam room is, know what time it is. I always log this down in my Google Calendar and my Notion, as you saw at the beginning of this video. And oh, I also hate having my hair in my face, so I usually bring like some sort of clip. And then I put this all into my backpack. Oh yeah, guys, I got a new little strawberry. I went to this like art fair and I got this cute little keychain to put on my backpack. Look how cute. My favorite colors are pink and green, and so the strawberry is perfect. My friend actually picked it out. Nervous, but it's the first one, so once I get over the first one, it'll be a lot easier later on, I think, as you go along. But it's just hard to like keep up the motivation throughout the whole final season, so I definitely know like that I have to be prepared for that to happen. We'll see how it is. I'll check in after the exam. It kind of felt like a blur. It was really long. It was 24 pages and 2.5 hours, and the exam room was strangely really hot. I just don't want to say anything because I'm worried. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about it at all. Moving on to the next one. That's the main thing. But I'm actually doing the New York Times connections because I've been really obsessed. Like, I haven't done it yet, but this is what I'm thinking so far.
Hi guys, so this is me editing right now, and I'm actually gonna finish the video off here. I know it's only like one final, but I'm still going through finals week or season right now, so I just don't have enough time to be able to edit like a huge chunk. Hopefully you guys can understand. I'm just gonna break it up into chunks and chunks. So for the next week one, it might be like 2 more finals and then the last few after that. So hopefully that's not so bad, and then the videos will be shorter, but it'll like show each final, I guess, as it goes. And I'll talk about different things throughout each video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Stay tuned for next week. I'll include a little preview of it just to get you guys excited. I mean, I'm still going through it, and I'm studying for my third final right now, and it's really, really difficult. I feel like I learn things every year of like how my study habits should change just year to year. But I have also been told that second year, second semester is just the hardest in electrical engineering. So it's kind of not uncommon for me to feel this overwhelmed and stressed out and just not on top of my stuff. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Stay tuned for next week, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Oh, I don't know if I ever showed you guys the PCB that we made. It's so cool to see something that you've designed and put so much effort into, and like to actually have it. Like, if people want to put that in perspective of how my other grades have been, I have been barely passing my midterms, as in I was trying to do a practice exam. Tell me why it's 5 questions and this fat.